The Washington Commanders just won a playoff game. Can you believe it? This is for everybody who stuck with the team through the thick and thin, the dark Snyder eras. Just how bad is Dan Snyder? For everyone who stuck through that BS, this feels so much better. This feels so much better than any other fan base who goes to the playoffs every single year, maybe wins a game, maybe doesn't, whatever. This is new to us. This is not normal. The feeling that we get for sticking with the team through the thick and thin, the rough days, and finally seeing the fruits of our labor of being a fan for something other people just don't understand what it's like. And we could talk about Dan Snyder and how bad he was, like how quickly we turned this thing around. I've never seen a team be turned around like this quickly. But let's just get into the game that we just watched, and it comes down to quarterback play. And Baker Mayfield dropped the ball on the ground, fumbled it in their own end zone, near in the red zone. And Jane Daniels didn't turn the ball over. So ultimately, the game came down to that: who was the better quarterback on the field today? And you have to say it was Jane Daniels. And boy, did Jane Daniels take a few shots in this game. The one on the sideline was pretty brutal. I remember when everyone was talking about Jane Daniels coming out of college, they were like, yeah, he has some weird, wacky hits. Like he takes some big hits sometimes. Didn't really see too many big hits this season, but that was a rough one on the sideline there. He stuck it out, man. He stuck it out and he did what he needed to do. There was a few times in the game where I'm like, this is third down, dive for that. You know what I mean? But quickly I've learned over the season, everything I think, every little critique I have is just let it go and just wait and go for the ride and see what happens. Because all the other quarterbacks we've ever had in the past, these are critiques I'd have for them, and it's just like it's because they don't overcome it. This is the first time we have somebody who just will overcome. We go for it on fourth down. Dan Quinn's a freaking madman, which I like it. I think, like statistics show, like if you do go for it on fourth down every single time, I think the statistics do show that it's better for you. And that's just who we've been all season. And there was a few people in the Discord who were worried about us going for it on fourth down all the time. And shout out to everybody in the Discord, man. It was yet again another good, crazy game to sit there and talk with other people, other fans. We had some people who didn't have too much faith, and then we had a bunch of people who had totally the opposite. Like we're for sure gonna win. But that's how it's been all season long, ups and downs. Never know what's gonna happen. The field goal kick doinked off the thing. Like you think we sat there and did everything we could to milk the clock, get down there, kick the last second field goal, and everything's gonna be smooth. Nope. Doinked it off the thing. And for me, I was holding my breath the whole time because when the kicker Gonzalez was coming out, he's sitting there messing with his hair. How many times you gotta touch your hair, dude? Like I know that it's people that have a job like that probably have some almost like superstition where it's like I need to feel right, like my body needs to feel right, and I don't feel right if my hair is not. I get that, but boy, does it look wrong when you're trying. It's like you're trying to make yourself look better when you have a helmet on. Anyway, I mean, he probably doesn't even know the camera's on him like that. You know what I mean? Excuse me, but there was a few things like that. That and just going for it. There was a few things, and not just that. What I was thinking about saying was Marshawn Lattimore shows up to the game, right? And he's wearing a shirt that says like "Be careful what you wish for" or something like that. Bro, you got burnt the whole like. I was so surprised, just like everybody else, that our defense got pressure at the very beginning of this game. Blew my mind seeing our defensive line get pressure on Baker Mayfield. I was like, whoa, where's that been all season? And that's the thing is, in this game, it's like everybody waited to pull out everything they had for this one game because they knew if we lose, it's over. So everybody knew the assignment. Everybody knew you got to put out right here or we might lose. And our defensive line showed up to play like crazy at the beginning of the game. And Baker was under duress but the thing is, what we've learned all season, right? Don't plan on that to last for the second half and all this or that. We did have some really good drives, like a 9-minute, 10-minute drive, which helps the defense not have to be on the field so much. But man, you knew that defense wasn't going to stick around for too long. So that's when we needed to score some points. because we knew we weren't going to get that defense the whole game. And sure enough, in the second half, they gave up some big runs. Baker Mayfield had a crazy run. And man, it's just something about this feels like it's supposed to happen, right? Like, even though we've been fans of this team for so long and we're not used to this, we're not used to seeing us win and kind of just like expect to win. And like the team, they seem unfazed by it. It's like this is what we're supposed to be doing. They never even thought we were supposed to lose. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm not gonna lie, going into this game, it's like Baker Mayfield's really good, and I thought if we didn't get pressure on him, it's hard. It was really hard to win if we're not gonna get pressure. And we weren't getting pressure for a lot of games this season. So like, what am I supposed to think? You know, I wasn't gonna sit here and say we were gonna lose to the Bucks, but I was like, man, this is a hard game. And sure enough, every single week, it's like this is what's supposed to happen. It's like it's destiny. You know what I mean? It's like it's supposed to happen. This is what's supposed to happen, and we're watching it unfold in front of our eyes. And Jane Daniels, they always say, "Oh, he looks unfazed" or whatever. Like the whole team kind of looks like, "Oh yeah, this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to win." And if you were to ask me, like going into the game next week versus the Detroit Lions, I think that earlier in the season, if you had to ask me, I'd say the Detroit Lions are probably going to win the Super Bowl. That's how good they've looked all season. But just there's something about the team right now where it's like I can't ever bet against the Commanders with Jane Daniels and what these guys are doing. It's like it's destiny. It's like they're supposed to win and like they're supposed to overcome every big moment. You know what I mean? It's like they're built for the big moments, and we've just never seen that. We used to be the team that, oh, don't let us show up on a Monday Night Football game or we're gonna suck. So it's just an insane turnaround. And Austin Eckler coming back. I mean, let's talk more about the game. Austin Eckler coming back, huge. Um, Diami Brown, probably his biggest game as a Commander, probably. Um, I think they said a career day for him. Him and Terry went off. They had both probably had around 100 yards. I'm guessing. I didn't look at the numbers. At least one of them probably got 100 yards. If not, they're both close to that or something. But in the Discord, shout out to everybody in the Discord. There was a lot of people that had issues with Brian Robinson in this game, and for me, it's like I get that Brian Robinson, he used to be a guy that even when there was nothing there, he would still hit somebody and get a couple yards. He was just not he just doesn't look like that anymore. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like his head's not in football right now or something like that. I don't know what's going on, but he does not look like the same guy as well. So I do agree with that. But boy, was Austin Eckler big. Getting him back, that was huge. Um, who else? I mean, Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner really showed that like he's been here and he's ready for it and he was just all over the field, man. Didn't and we're still waiting. Like I know Jonathan Allen has a lot to do with like stopping the run and everything, but it's like still waiting for these guys to like show up. Deron Payne had a play or two where his name got called, but it's like where's Allen? Like these guys are making a lot of money. We still have some of the same criticisms even after this game, but credit where credit is due. At least the first half, they shut down the run game. But as we know, it's the second half is where our defense starts falling apart. But yeah, Marshawn Lattimore, boy, he's played the other game that he played. I think he's only played one other game, right, or two other games. One of those games, he looked really nice. Now, not so much. I don't really know what's going on with that. He's probably still hurt or something like that. But boy, I was not a fan of him. Just he just looks lost. He didn't look like he knew what he was doing or like where he was supposed to be. It was just bad. Um, but man, Jaden Daniels bailing us out on fourth downs. You can't say enough about just like when I hear and let's also talk about the fans. The amount of fans that showed up to Tampa Bay, and you could hear them chant Terry, you could hear them chant MVP, you could hear them all the time, and it's like it's hard to see them on the screen because there's a lot of red or burgundy, but a lot of fans showed up, man, and a couple games this season, people chant MVP for Jane Daniels, and the thing is like he's not going to win MVP. You know, like someone else like Lamar Jackson is going to win that. But I heard someone else say this, and I kind of agree. What other player has meant more to their team this season, like, than Jane Daniels has meant to the Commanders? Like, if we didn't have Jane Daniels, we're the same old thing that we've seen before a million times. And yes, Dan Quinn probably would have been able to get these guys to play hard, but there's no other player in the NFL that's meant more to their team than Jane Daniels. And then you could say that there's an argument for MVP. I'm not saying that. I don't, I don't. I'm just saying I understand that logic. Um, but boy, this video is 10 minutes long. I don't want to keep rambling on. Let me know what you guys think. Join the Discord if you want to sit there and sweat with us during every single game. Sit there and chat with us. It's free. You can just come talk to us. There was some people in there that aren't in there all the time, but there was a bunch of people in there today. And yeah, it's awesome. Love talking to everybody in the Discord, man. We got a bunch of stuff coming for the channel. We got another playoff game, which is insane to say, coming up this Saturday. And I will see you guys then, or I'll make another video during the week. We don't know. It's gonna be a wild card. We'll see what happens. But I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll read all your comments. Just leave them below. Peace.